I mean, a lot of it was my family. They were really heavy on pushing me to be an engineer early on, especially because, well, I come from a low-income family. An engineer is a good paying job. I have the mental capacity to do it, and I don't mind problem solving. It was something I was kind of iffy about when I started, sort of leaning towards that field. I really wanted to go more into computer science, but genuinely, engineering is not something that I mind doing. It's a decent job. Overall, it's fine. There's not a whole lot of things that I feel like I don't really understand when I'm doing engineering work. I could probably give you a least favorite genre. I'm not really a big fan of JRPGs, the stereotypical JRPG. It's a lot of grinding, it's a lot of, it feels like there's a lot of content that's spaced out in weird ways, or they're padding out the game by making you grind a bunch of levels. I'm not a big fan of that. I don't mind turn-based combat. Honestly, I think the worst offender is Final Fantasy ATB system. As far as favorite genres, I guess you could. Beat 'em up as a genre. I was gonna say more along the lines of what Platinum Games does. Things like Bayonetta, Metal Gear Rising, where they're very action-oriented games that don't rely on an intrinsic skill increase rather than an extrinsic skill increase. So in Metal Gear Rising and Bayonetta, it's an increase in your skill level as a player rather than an increase in some stats that say, hey, you win. I like games that do that. I like games that make you, not necessarily make you become better as a player, but allow you to experience the game in a different way as you become better at the game, something more enjoyable. I guess to really go back to the question, it's more action games are generally my thing, but I'll play whatever. It's okay. It's genuinely not too bad. Especially now, if you compare it to say 20 years ago when people didn't really have cell phones, and you had to actually know where everything was in an area and how to generally get towards certain roads or certain areas, and if you didn't recognize the road, you had to go look it up on an actual physical map. Now, a lot of the time, for me especially, a lot of the time I do end up relying on just typing things into some sort of map software, whether it be Google Maps or Waze. So the hardest part is probably just making sure that you have all the food ready before you head out, because sometimes at work in the kitchen and in the delivery area there's just so much going on, it's so chaotic, and you have to sit down and go, alright, do I have this thing, check them all off on a list. Oops, I don't have this from the steam room, I don't have this from here, I have to go get this thing, I don't have this from wherever else it is. Once you actually have everything set up, it's basically put everything in the car, go to the destinations you need to go to, and come back. But driving's nice. I like driving. And actually delivering, right now anyways, because of all the things with coronavirus, generally people trying to be safe, a lot of the time, people don't even want to say hello face to face. They'll just have you ring the doorbell and leave. You just get to play ding dong ditch. It's a job, which is fine. I don't necessarily have a problem with that, but it's you can tell you're missing that sort of interpersonal interaction to some extent as well.